one man was able to trick millions of people online by sharing a fake East African currency. He called it Sheafra, which stands for shilling and franc merged together. So when he first posted it online, he said he didn't think much of it. He posted online saying, "This is the new East African currency," and it got millions of views and thousands of comments. People were either skeptical of the currency, or were calling out the currency, or were very happy with this move by the East African bloc. Even though it was not true, people were very excited for this currency because Africans have been asking this for a long time. It just keeps getting blocked either by France when it comes to the Western African countries, or East Africa, or even African Union. There has been talks about having one currency, and let's not forget Libyan president that was unalived because he had a vision and a dream to have an African currency that is strong enough to combat any currency.
One thing that was so peculiar about Colonel Muammar Gaddafi was that he was extremely unfriendly and distrustful to the Western powers for several reasons. The Western leaders wanted to access Libya's vast oil reserves for their personal interest, but Gaddafi's nationalist and protectionist stance made contracts inaccessible. Gaddafi often outlined his plan to create a new united Africa with its own currency, an army to defend the continent, and a single passport. He wanted to introduce a new currency known as the golden dinar to back African countries, thus freeing them from the dollar standard of the United States. In this video, we will be taking a look at why the Western countries, especially those of the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, notably USA, the United Kingdom, and France, regarded Muammar Gaddafi's ambitions as a threat to their influence in Africa.
So clearly, Africans want this to happen, and we all know it would make a huge difference to have one currency that we are all using, but to even have a block currency like East Africa or ECOWAS or Southern, it is going to help out a lot. Even though it's not just going to be one currency, it's still going to be impactful. So people were very excited, rightfully so, we get it. But those that were skeptical turned out that they were right, because he came out, it was a Ugandan man behind that account, and he came out and admitted that it was fake. He just came out with it, and he's the one that created this note by himself. Ugandan man Moses Habawa said in an interview that he wanted to offer hope to people in the region. He also said that he didn't tell anyone to tweet that he had launched, but how the media picked it up, he doesn't know. So basically, according to him, he was just posting out of hope. He was hoping that East Africa will have one currency. He made that currency and posted it, and media picked it up, by the way, on social media, blew up. Even mainstream media, a few mainstream medias picked this up because it seemed legit. But shortly after it went viral, the East African Community blog made a statement saying, quote, "The EAC secretariat wishes to inform all our stakeholders that the partner states' journey to a single currency is still at work in progress," end quote. And they said that this is not true. So that's how this currency was able to be debunked. But as the Ugandan man said, and I totally agree, this opened a space for people to talk about the currency issue and how we've been asking for it, but now it has taken the currency conversation times 100, and people are aware and people understand why it is so necessary for Africa to have our own currency, especially a currency that we all can use. Because right now we are too dependent on the US dollar, and the US dollar against money currencies is just horrible, right? So we're not able to export, and we're not able to get into that international market without suffering. We're not able to even trade with one another without exchanging to the US dollar while losing money, and then we're able to trade with one another in Africa, which is insane, but that is exactly what's happening and it needs to be fixed. But also, maybe if one currency is not going to happen now in the near future, something needs to be done, like what the BRICS is doing. They're not really coming up with a new currency, but they are making deals with local currencies and exchanging in that way and buying from one another and benefiting their own local economies that way. So maybe that's something that we need to consider if this one currency is not attainable in the near future. But anyways, fam, let us know down below what your thoughts are about this. I'm Wongel Zelalem. I'll see you on the next one.